Hi guys, it's marianakebaso. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about my summer book recommendations. So summer is the season for laying on the beach and just having a good book to read, or at the park or by the pool. Having a good book is just like essential summer activities. So I thought I'd make this video to give you guys some book recommendations that are just very easy reads and that you can read in like a couple days and won't take you too long. So without further ado, let's get started.
Let's get ready to rumble!
So the first book that I want to talk to you guys about is The Inheritance Games. I just finished reading this last night. I also just found out that there's a second book coming out this fall, September 7th, 2021. So get excited. And oh my goodness, this book is so good. So it has a love triangle trope. It has like this kind of mystery suspense element where it's suspenseful enough that like you can't stop reading, but it's also not too mysterious or too suspenseful that you like have so much anxiety, because that's my thing, because a lot of the times they are way too much for me.
I don't know, I just don't think this is like right for me. Like I can't take the pressure of it.
And then I just get so much anxiety, and it's not cute.
It's not cute.
I think it's cute.
I loved this book though because it had like the perfect amount of mystery and suspense and thriller, and like it was such an entertaining book. Like I could not put this book down at all. It was so good. I think the romance in this book was just perfectly added. Like it wasn't too much, but there was still that element there, and oh my goodness,
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
I am obsessed with this book. I will recommend it to everybody because it was literally so good. It reminds me of like a little bit of the Hunger Games, but like dialed down a little bit more. It kind of reminds me of the series of Unfortunate Events, like just a little bit. Anyways, so I would totally recommend this book. So the next book that I have is called The Hating Game. Now, if you're familiar with like book talk over on TikTok, or you just read a lot, you have probably heard the hype around this book, and it is hyped up for a good reason. Okay, it is a enemies to lovers book, but I'd rather say that it's like co-workers to lovers, because it's like healthy competition to lovers. It's just different. Now, would I say that this book lives up to the full hype where people are saying like this is the best rom-com of all time? No, but this book is a really nice easy read. It's a beach read. It's perfect for just chilling by the pool. That book it's there for you. It was a very easy read. I read it in a couple hours. So the next book that I have is The Wedding Date. And if you have not heard of any of Jasmine Gullery's books, I hope I'm saying her last name right. I don't know where you've been living, girl, because her romance books, like, they are top tier. Anything that Jasmine Gullery writes, it's a bestseller, okay? It's a bestseller. The Wedding Date is an amazing book, and most of her books have Black female leads. So if you've been looking for romance books that have Black female like love interests, her books are amazing for that, because most of her books are centered around Black women. I love because we do not see enough Black women representation in the rom-com romance genre in general. So I think it's amazing that she's made a lot of amazing books that center Black women. So The Wedding Date is amazing. I read this a while ago, but I do remember it was a very easy read, but it's such a good book. It's so good book. The next book from Jasmine Gullery that I would recommend is Party of Two. This book is so freaking good. Okay, it is so good. I honestly like it just a little bit better than The Wedding Date. This book is just amazing. It follows a lawyer and a politician, and it's just like a sweet book. I loved it. I loved it. And the main character honestly reminded me a lot of myself, or like who I try to be.
I am so powerful. My mind, it amazes me sometimes.
So maybe that's why I liked it a lot more than The Wedding Date, but it's both books are amazing, and I recommend them nonetheless.
Okay.
So the next book, so this is a series by an author, I'm forgetting her name, but it follows three sisters. They are called the Brown sisters, and I have read 2 out of the 3 books. So it's not necessarily a series because they can each be read as standalone books, but if you want to like understand these sisters' dynamic as a whole, then it makes a little bit more sense to read all of them in order. So the first book is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And so this follows Chloe's romance with her landlord, which is, I know you're probably like, what did she say? But I promise it's such a good book. I want to say it's like a slow burn because they weren't enemies, but they also weren't friends. If you like the like miscommunication trope, then you will love the book because there's a lot of like not understanding between the two characters. So yeah. The next book from the Brown sisters almost trilogy is Take a Hint, Danny Brown. So this follows the story of Danny. And if you love the fake dating trope, you will love this book because it includes the fake dating trope and it also includes the friends with benefits turned lovers trope. So if you like either of those tropes, you will like this book. Both books are super easy reads. I think both of them are under 500 pages. So you can get it done in like a day, 2, 3. So the next book that I want to talk to you guys about is called Intercepted. So this book is such a nice, just chill, easy read. I definitely thought that there would be a little bit more climactic action, but it's just a smooth romance. Like there's a couple points in the book where you're like, wait, what's gonna happen now? But I really like this book. It was a book that Jasmine Gullery, the author who wrote The Wedding Date and Party of Two, actually recommended. Like she wrote a review for this book and said it was like an amazing book. So that's how I ended up reading it, because she said she read it and she liked it. So I really do like it, and I'm actually planning on reading another book from the same author. The next book I have is How to Catch a Queen, and this is by Alyssa Cole. And this book, let me tell you guys a little story about this. So I originally got this book like probably like 4 or 5 months ago. No, more than 5 months ago, because I got it before this year, before 2021. So I got it sometime in 2020, and it's been sitting in my library. I read like a page or two of it and I just forgot about it. And now I came back and I started reading it again, and I was like, oh my god, this is an amazing book. Like I didn't read it at first because I didn't really like the idea of reading a romance where the guy doesn't show interest in the girl at first. And I have a whole thing about this. If you guys want me to make a video about my unpopular like book opinions, like on tropes, on storytelling, etc., I can do that because I have a lot of opinions on that. But I didn't really like the idea of the fact that like in a rom-com, the guy and the girl are supposed to like each other, even if it's enemies to lovers. Like they have like a little bit of a liking for each other, right? But in this book, it kind of started out acting as if like he hated her, like he was like absolutely like ugh of her. But then I read it and I was like, oh, this is kind of sweet. Like it was different. It turned out differently than I expected, but it was still a good book nonetheless, and it's amazing. Again, Black female characters. I think almost all of these books have Black women leads, main characters in them, except for like 2 of the books that I'm recommending to you guys. But yeah, so the next book that I'm recommending to you guys is Everything. So you've probably heard of this book, and I actually believe, yeah, they turned it into a movie. I read this book in like elementary school, but it's such like the perfect summer book. Like if you want to read any book in this video, read Everything. It is so good. Just read it. Okay, I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you haven't watched the movie, I would say read the book, watch the movie, read the book again, and then watch the movie again. I think the book has a lot more storytelling to it, and it feels a bit more cohesive and together than the movie does, because the movie, obviously, you know, they can only fit so much into like an hour and a half. So that's why I say read the book first and then watch the movie, and then read the book again and then watch the movie. The last book that I'm going to recommend to you guys is American Royals. So this is an amazing book also. I've recommended this book in the past in some of my other book recommendation videos, but I feel like it's just the perfect summer read because it is easygoing. There's a little bit of a plot, but it's also just very chill and casual, at least to me. Like, you know, there's some books where you feel like there's a lot of stakes at hand, but then there's other books that you read and you just like don't care about the character. I know that sounds so bad, but like the book is just like set up in a way that I don't really feel like really any personal connection to those characters. It just almost feels like I'm reading like gossip, which I enjoyed. Like I'm not saying like it's a bad book. It's just like not a book that I have any emotional ties to. And it's good because it wasn't really an emotional book. It was more of like rom-com. It read a little bit like a soap opera, gonna be very honest with you guys. But it's still a good book nonetheless, so I would recommend it. So yeah, that is it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. We're on a road to 500 subscribers, and I would love for you to become a part of our little family, our little group, our little clique. And yeah, I will see you guys in next Wednesday's video. Bye!